Hey, welcome. If your sales or support team works in HubSpot and your dev team is in Jira, this is the video for you. What I'm going to show you is a live sync between Jira issues and HubSpot tickets. Status, comments, and fields flowing both ways. A 30-day free trial is there if you want to follow along after. Let's get into it. This one runs through the Jira app panel. Once you install it, go to your apps in Jira, find the HubSpot integration for Jira by Getint, and open it. You will land on a page exactly like this. From here, create an integration, continue sync, and then select the apps. We'll start selecting the Jira app. From here, you can create a new connection and then either use the URL, so you will copy paste your Jira instance URL in here, and then create a personal access token to create the connection. To know how to do that, you can read our documentation that will guide you through step by step. The other option is the login with Atlassian, which is the option that I will be using. Once you click in here, this option will appear, and then you have to select the app to use on. So we'll select this one and then accept. Now, as you can see, this option needs a dedicated Getint license, so a valid license. Once you have the valid license, you can use that option. We now give the connection a name and then choose which URL this one will be using. We'll start with this one and then submit. Now we will look and find the connection that we have just created. And then we'll select our project. So we'll find the project that we'll be using here and connect. Now we'll connect the HubSpot side. Select the HubSpot and then create a new connection. Now, HubSpot only works with the API token. However, when you are creating the token, some scopes are needed for this connection to work. We recommend that you go to our documentation and check step by step which scopes are necessary and how to create a proper token for the connection with HubSpot. For the demo, I will be using one of my own connections, so we can continue. Here I selected a connection and then connect. Now that both sides are connected, let's map the types. I can use the quick build if I'd like to, and the tool will try and automatically map the minimal necessary fields for a working connection or for a working integration. I will do it manually because I want to map specific work items to Jira and HubSpot, but the quick build works just fine. So for HubSpot, if you click in here, you'll see that we have a few options where you can map deal, contact, task, and ticket. We will select for this demonstration the ticket, and on the Jira side, we will select the task. Once I add, the tool will also try to match the fields that we have in there. As you can see, the tool already mapped quite some fields. The title, the description, and this one, which is a mandatory field for the integration to work properly with HubSpot. The tool automatically did that, but ensure that you have this one mapped like this when you are setting up your integration. Jira will throw a sync error every time it tries to push data to HubSpot if you do not have that field. Now, if I want to add more fields while on this mapping, I can add a field mapping by clicking here, selecting the side, and then choosing what I want to add. The same thing for the other side. Once you select something here, let's say reporter, you can select something similar on the HubSpot side. To keep things simple for this demonstration, I will only leave the ones that came by default, but you can add as many as you want. You can see that we have some arrows in the middle as well, and one is pointing like this because this is the necessary way for this connection to work. But for the title, description, and other ones, you can have them set up either both ways or just select the arrow to one side, ensuring your data is only flowing to that side. You can also select how you want the field to behave either selecting on create or on update or leaving both as they come. Now we can move on to status. One thing on status mapping is that each HubSpot type has a different status fields. Tickets use ticket status, deals use stage, so make sure that you are using the correct one. As you can see, in this case, it didn't map automatically, so let's go ahead and map them. So start with done, with closed, in progress, with waiting, and then to do with new, and we can also in review with waiting. So now you have all your fields mapped. If I don't want all the fields to match one-to-one, I can put more than one status with another one. So for example, if I don't want this on review, I can delete this one, try to add again, and then add as additional to another one. So for example, I can add in here to in progress in review, and whenever one of those are triggered, we will have on the other side, on the HubSpot side, as waiting on contact. We can leave it like this. And again, the similar way as you can see in the fields, in here you can also select the directions. So either you leave it both ways or you select your data flowing just to one side, either Jira or HubSpot. Now, let's go to the comments and attachments. And also here you have the option to select the direction. You can have a both way synchronization or just one way. We'll leave it both ways. You can allow or exclude comments based on your own conditions, on your own attributes, so you can adjust the way that works better for your team. I will leave everything as default just to make it simple. You can also enable the synchronization of attachments if you want to. I will leave this one disabled. And in here, you can see that we have a nice setup done. I will just apply, and now this is in here. Now I can save. If I create, the Getint tool will give an automatic name, or I can give it my own name. Or I can, before doing that, use some filters. So if I don't want all my data to flow, I can add a layer of filtering by selecting a field, an operator, and then a value. So for example, if I only want specific items to synchronize that contain the sync value, only those will be then added to the synchronization. You can do that on both sides, so you can also filter on the HubSpot side, and we will also work that way. Let's keep it simple, so I will not add any filters. I would just have a name setup. Now we can create, and our integration is created. Now let's go to the latest runs. And as you can see, we already have one sync that happened. This is Getint checking if anything was created or modified after the creation of the integration. In here, you will see the ID of the run, the integration name, the mode, as you can see, is sync, the execution time, and the stats. And here you will see that is empty because nothing was synchronized yet, as we didn't change or create anything new. In the Jira Cloud, the runs will happen every 180 seconds or 3 minutes. But I am using our on-premise deployment, so our runs will happen then every minute or so. Now, let's create something in Jira and see what happens. Let's create one ticket. Then create. Now let's go back to Getint and see what happens. Now we have a new run happening. And we have one sync. Again, you will see the ID of the run, the integration name, the mode, how long it took to synchronize, and the stats. Let's see what came through. Now here you will see the items that were triggering this synchronization, what they were synced with, the mode, the execution time, and any sub-items. If I click on the item itself, I will see a summary of all the fields that I have in there. The same on the other side. I also have an URL that will take me to the created item for easier reference. As you can see, I have the title, the description, and of course it was created as new, so the status is new. Now let's do some changes here and see what happens. Let's add a node. And then create. Now let's go back to Getint and wait for the next run. Now we have another one. We can go to the details. And as you can see, we have the item that started the synchronization, again, the item that it was syncing with, and the mode. Now, instead of create is update because we just did some changes on the ticket. Let's go there and check. We have the comment that we added along with the footer with the information about when it was created, who triggered the creation, and the comment ID. You will also see a new status and the rest that we have created before. Now, this is it. As you can see, we have both tickets in Jira and HubSpot updated and connected, a bidirectional synchronization without manual work. That's the foundation. From here, you can go further. If you are running Jira Service Management or any other Jira types, you can use them in this synchronization. You can sync custom fields, comment configuration. You can work around for what works best for your team. It takes just a few minutes. Your complexity is totally optional for this. That's it. If this video was useful, like the video, share, comment. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments or you can contact our support that will be happy to assist you. Subscribe if you want to see more connectors, and thanks for watching. See you on the next one.